Hi, Coles. Welcome back to the channel. I just want to humbly apologize to you guys for not posting last week. I've just really been sick, man, and I just thought let my voice get better and then I can start posting again. And today I have to make this video, and I'm doing this at work. So if you hear cars or birds, just ignore that. Today we're going to talk about why Barcelona should rather keep Ferran Torres and sell Lewandowski. And I know a lot of you will disagree with me on this, but I have good enough reasons for that. As always, do subscribe to the channel. It's going to help us a lot. But let's get right into this video. A lot of you might be thinking that I'm out of my mind, but in reality, we have to accept the fact that Lewandowski is never going to be like he was at Bayern. He's just not. He's just not going to return to the scoring of 50 goals a season. Next season, he's going to be a year older. He's going to be a season older. He's going to be slower. He's not going to get any faster. We all know that. So why do I say Ferran? Because what Barcelona has really been lacking this season is the effectiveness of the press up front. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but Ferran is one of the best when it comes to pressure. I often feel like when Barcelona presses this ball up front, Lewandowski doesn't do it justice. He's too slow, and therefore teams can easily move around the ball progression, right? If this player is fast, which is what Ferran does normally, then it can be backed up by the likes of Rafinha, which means Barcelona would be able to play higher up the pitch. So the pressure is also going to be better for Barcelona. And I feel like Barcelona hasn't scored enough goals from defending positions, right? Like gegenpressing or pressing like normal. Lewandowski is way too slow for this. So Ferran Torres would be stepping up Barcelona's pressing game like 1,000 times better than Lewandowski, purely to the fact that he's faster than him and is quicker than him. So especially with the gegenpressing, So Ferran Torres is my pick for this reason specifically, because Barcelona is still scoring goals. But how are we doing from defensive positions, right? That is where we've been lacking. A lot of times you see when Lewandowski is pressing, teams still find their way around Barcelona's pressure. I mean, even smaller teams are doing this against Barcelona. So if we're going to get from pressing positions, if we can get goals from that, and then we're going to be better. We're going to be better defensively because we're going to turn over the ball higher up in the pitch, right? And which will improve Barcelona. And I pick Ferran Torres for that. We know Joao Felix is not going to stay with Barca. So Ferran Torres is my pick to play up front. Simply, number one, because of his pressing abilities. One of the reasons why Lewandowski also has not been scoring this season is because of this thing that he is dropping off into positions right over here so that he can also maybe get on the ball. Many a times when he does lay off the ball, he doesn't get back into his position in order to get on the end of crosses, right? So maybe that is mainly because of Xavi that he's doing that, but that's not benefiting him. Imagine if he was able to drop off and lay the ball off and the ball would get into these positions and he was actually quick enough to get back, right? Now, this is also why I would choose Ferran to do this, because Ferran is excellent. If you watch the channel, you would know this, right? That Ferran is excellently at dropping off, like playing as a number 10. Now, he can do this as a false 9. But then you need to have guys like Gundogan and Pedri, and especially Fermin would benefit from this. When Ferran is dropping off, then there's runs that can be made in behind the defense. So somebody like Fermin has to play. So you have more possibilities for players to run ahead of Ferran Torres if he plays in this position. So Ferran is I'm not saying Ferran is better than Lewandowski. I'm just meaning that the way Barcelona plays, it suits Ferran much better than it does Lewandowski, right? So and also, if you're going to play this double pivot, Ferran can easily drop into these positions and balance everything out. And then he can get back into these positions quickly and faster than Robert Lewandowski. So it's not really due to the ability that I'm saying I prefer Ferran over Lewandowski. It's more like with the way Barcelona is playing, that is why I would pick him over Lewandowski, right? So that is what I would say, right? And then also he gives you more possibilities, for the false 9, right? He gives you more possibilities to run, and he can drop everywhere. And then also, Ferran is also capable of playing here on the left. How many times have you seen Robert Lewandowski being at 9 and then Rafinha? Because Lewandowski cannot play out on the wing. Ferran Torres can play across the front line for Barcelona. So that is also one of the possibilities. He can do the false 9 and he can drop off into different positions across the front line. So that is why you also have benefits with Ferran Torres in this tactic, for an example. Ferran is also capable of doing way more defensively for Barcelona. I mean, the man has defensive discipline and he can press up front like we just discussed earlier in the video. However, the main thing I want to talk about really is the transitions, right? I often feel like when we have to get in behind, running in behind Robert Lewandowski, many a times he doesn't make it with the other players. Just watch him when we play on the transition. So our counterattacks will also improve. And I'm not, like I said, again, it is not ability-wise, it's just the fact that he gets around more easier than Robert Lewandowski, right? He can also fill in these positions if we have to defend a different way. He can also, if you want to have the likes of Gundogan up front, he can defend there. He can even defend out wide. So he does more. And imagine if we have to get on the transition, who do you want running with that ball? I'm not saying Lewandowski is not great at this. I mean, just be honest with you guys. I want you to comment down below. Who do you think is better at transitions? Ferran Torres or Robert Lewandowski? Or who would you want to run with that ball? I mean, if you looked last year against their game against Napoli, when Adama Traore, Ferran Torres and Jordi Alba, I think it was, how quickly those guys got up the pitch, right? If it's Lewandowski many a times and a player gets up front, he doesn't make it back in time. And this season is going to be, I don't want to say worse, but it's not going to be better than last season. And like I said, overall, don't expect Lewandowski to return and score 50 goals this upcoming season. So yeah, overall, I would just, for defensive reasons, I mean, Ferran Torres is just a better option for me. Robert Lewandowski is a veteran, but I mean, these reasons that I've stated, I would rather much keep Ferran and let Lewandowski go, because there's no place for all of them, right? You have the situation with Vitor Roque as well. So let me know, who do you think, however? Who would you play, Ferran or Robert Lewandowski? But yeah, guys, this is going to be a new series, who should stay and who should leave. We're going to do that for the attackers, the front line. We're going to do that for the midfielders, and we're going to do that for the defenders, over the course of the off season. We're also going to look at new signings, and we're also going to specifically look at who's going to be the best pivot for Barcelona. So I got a lot of series coming up, so stay in tune for that, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun to look at the overhaul that Barcelona needs. As always, do subscribe to the channel. It's going to help us a lot. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.